getting all comfortable with your curves.
You've done this. It's fine. Honor my curves.
I am praising your curves like the goddess they are.
Honor my curves.
Okay, all right.
Please
Are we ready?
He's totally recording.
Okay. Start us off.
So, that hurt.
That.
Oh my gosh.
Physically and metaphorically.
In every imaginable way that hurt.
My word.
Well, we are kind of shoved in here.
Welcome to my world!
Okay. No,
Yellow.
all right.
She never
But
said
seriously,
them.
I'm gonna make you guys think for a minute. I'm gonna ask you, was there anything you didn't hate?
No.
Yes, I didn't hate the scene where she was drunk, because that was funny.
Okay.
Because she was, I don't know, I laughed.
I didn't hate
made
her
me smile.
flowery dresses.
She had some nice.
She did have a nice
clothes.
wardrobe, yeah.
The
cool.
soundtrack was
Yeah,
nice.
I
It
loved
had a
the
nice
soundtrack. I actually liked the...
Except for the chamber choir.
except for the chamber choir.
Okay, well,
the chamber
we'll
choir
get
I
to
could do
that
a
in a
little
minute.
less
We'll get to
with.
that in a minute. Okay, so we liked the soundtrack, and we liked the wardrobe.
I actually, you're going to think it's really weird, but I like the way that she used his method of punishing her to punish him.
Okay.
By refusing his aftercare.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a little deep,
That's
but
a little
okay.
deep. All right.
We're getting existential.
Sorry. Sorry.
This is
The
not.
movie was too funny to be that deep. Sorry, I should stop that.
Josh, I'm
I
pretty
don't-
sure the movie is about getting deep.
No, it's not.
No, dang.
It's about gently
Red.
caressing someone's
that's-
rear end and saying, welcome to my world.
Red!
Blue, green, fuchsia.
Any color that will make this shit stop.
Except all of the shades of gray. That was everywhere. Gray and
Asphalt.
sepia tone as far as the eye could see. Except Georgia.
As annoying as it was, I kind of liked that. I thought that it lent something to visually. I think that they did pretty darn good with what they were given. Okay, having read the book,
Terrible
it
fanfiction.
was awful. It was painful and it was
fucked up.
it was yes it was it was so bad, and taking that level of badness and turning it into something that, at least while boring, gave you something interesting to look at once in a while was actually pretty much an accomplishment.
No inner goddesses. I mean, that was an
No,
improvement.
Jesus, I would have lost my mind. If anything about that inner goddess
The
had-
inner goddess
had-
showed her face.
oh my god. My
And it was
god.
only mentioned once. It was
Well,
at the
I
beginning.
missed that part.
Yeah.
Thank every
Yeah.
single
Thank your inner goddess.
Thank my inner goddess for,
Yeah,
for
it was-
realizing that I should be late.
It was mentioned sort of like off the cuff kind of thing between her and her roommate.
Right.
God.
I actually liked the roommate pretty well, and I liked the auxiliary cast way better than I liked the leads.
Yeah.
Ethnic third wheel was pretty awesome. I'm sad he didn't get more playtime.
Well, he tried to kiss her and then was removed from the movie forcibly.
Yeah, well.
Whereas,
That's what happened.
gentle
I think it's 'cause
When brown
asterisks
people
don't.
try and
I think it's because he's
kiss white
questionably
people.
Spanish.
Questionably. His brownness interfered with the fact.
Did you just touch me? I will kill you!
There are only white people and black people are allowed in this movie because they are shades of gray.
I hate
No, why?
We're gonna cut that part.
Yeah.
This is not. No one is ever gonna see. No one can see.
There's
through
no one.
Emily's
I'm
hair.
not sitting on
No
anyone's
one's
Yeah,
ever
that's
gonna
just
see
Katie's ass talking the whole time.
It's such a bitch. Too many tender caresses.
I've been slept one too many times.
Yes.
So sorry.
Okay, so another thing, I cannot remember where exactly Jeremy Dornan, whatever his name is.
Jamie Dornan.
That's
Dornan.
it. Is from, but apparently it's not here.
He's not English. Or I'm sorry, he's not American.
And I
He's
just
not
feel
not
like
American.
if they would have let him keep whatever his original accent was, it would have been so much better, because
He sounded so artificial.
yes, terribly bad. I was not believing his Americanness at all in this.
I don't remember the line, but I looked to Josh and I was like, that was the most wooden line I have ever heard in my
It was
life.
right after. Ah, fuck.
She had asked him what they were doing, and he just goes into telling about his sister being back in town.
You
My
remember
sister,
my sister's back in town?
you remember my sister's back in town.
The whole thing was wooden.
Big train wreck.
It drug terribly.
For a film with so many.
You would think
Sexies.
that, that the sex would at least make it moderately exciting, but those were some of the most boring parts, actually.
I was zoning out.
So,
Dude, Field of Dreams
totally.
is sexier than that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Ghost Baseball. It's
There was-
sexier than 50 Shades of Grey world.
Well, to be fair, it does have Ray Liotta.
Well, I know. Okay. Given. Granted.
so yeah,
And James Earl Jones.
that's true.
Talk Mufasa to me.
They did, I think we mentioned this earlier, but they did pull the same thing that Hunger Games did, and they left out all the internal monologue. Thank
be-
goodness.
thank
Praise the inner goddess.
However, part of me is ever so slightly saddened because some of the best lines were from Inner Goddess, and
She did say wow.
Or
a
the
few times.
interactions between the
Yeah.
Intergoddess and her.
there was not
doing
an
the
oh
samba.
my, and I was very sorely disappointed.
There's no oh my's or no craps.
Yeah, there's no crap.
No.
So what you're saying, Emily, is that you're hoping that when it comes to DVD, they will have an inner goddess subtitles.
Oh my gosh, that's the best
Someone
idea
needs to
ever.
shoot it.
Commentary.
Make it happen,
Oh,
please.
Narrated by Tommy Wiseau.
Yes, even better. Oh my gosh.
You're so sexy, Christian.
My inner goddess is doing
my
samba.
inner goddess.
Oh my God.
Inner goddess.
You're tearing me apart.
And the
Anna.
goddess Davida.
You're my favorite customer, Christian.
Oh hi goddess.
Oh my goddess.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely have breast cancer.
Okay. So,
I did not hit her. Oh, actually, I did.
She got
A
mad.
lot. She left.
so originally we
She's
were going to try and do this with boys and girls separately, but we did not have another camera. So, boys, I want to hear some of your thoughts.
Well, first of all, I hated the movie. I loathed every bit of it. I was sitting there the whole time going, when this is going to end? Why am I watching this movie? It's because of you guys, but seriously, like the acting was horrifying. The cast was fine. I didn't have a problem with the cast, but the fact that like none of the people, like, I feel like none of them knew how to act. And Anastasia, I don't know who she is. Who is she?
Melanie Griffith's daughter, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's
Something like
someone famous's granddaughter. I thought.
Huh.
I didn't think it was.
Well, I mean, she has acting talent, but I feel like she should have been in a comedy instead of this movie.
Wait, you mean this wasn't a comedy? I was laughing a lot.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Yeah.
But from a male standpoint, it had tits, so I'm fine.
And roll credits.
That's what we're going with. Okay, other boys, do you want to weigh in?
Well, we'll let the other actual boy weigh in. I split the bar, so
Okay.
I
this is Katie's ass.
spent the
My ass,
whole
everyone.
movie waiting for plot. I have not read the book. I knew that I was getting into a train wreck. I'm sitting there the whole time, and I'm just like, thank God it's not The Room again. And where is the plot? Okay, so we're watching someone's relationship unfold. That's only fun if you're one of the people in it.
Yep, I agree.
I definitely had that problem too. Like, by the time I started realizing like what exactly the plot was going to be, the movie was basically over, and I was just like, what? Like, I just, whoa, really?
So the whole plot of this movie is her deciding that she can tell his contract no and that she can have a relationship on her terms, and then walking away from it. That could have been a commercial.
30 seconds. So we need.
It's a classic story of boy meets girl. Boy wants girl to lay over a couch so he can slap her ass.
Welcome to my
Then
world.
girl lets him, and he beats the fuck out of her with a bat.
It was a belt.
It was a belt.
It was-
Meh, semantics.
It was, yes, it was
That would have
about.
been much more exciting.
In the book, it was a bat. Well, that wasn't it.
No, I think it actually was.
No, we're in the dark. Somebody help!
Help. Help.
No,
Voila!
I think it was actually a belt, and I think I remember reading it and going, seriously, you have an entire room of things specifically made for this, and you pick a belt,
And that's the worst thing. That's the worst of it.
and that's the worst you can go
6.
with.
6 hits
And
with
it's
a braided
a
leather
whole
belt.
6.
At least her name wasn't Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
Flogging Molly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I get it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There is
baby.
no way that the bitch that wrote this book had
Ever.
that level.
Do
of
not talk
creativity.
about El James like this.
Don't talk about my goddess Elhamis.
El James is a goddess.
Oh my goodness.
She's the inner goddess.
She
And that
is in a
explains why
goddess.
I fucking hate her so much.
Okay, so,
Do we want the in between?
honorary,
The in between says, meh. It was a movie. I didn't like having to pay non-matinee price for it. It was a good waste. It was an acceptable waste of 2 hours of my life. However, having paid full price for it, I would like my money back.
All of your money.
okay.
So you saw it twice for that.
Shh, I didn't want them to know I saw it twice.
He saw it twice.
It's on the
Now it's
internet
on the
forever.
internet.
You know, it's true.
Everybody knows.
It was terrible. It was a lot creepier the second time I watched it. Like, he
Shit.
really, like, started, like, I really saw how scary that character, that Christian Grey, was supposed to have been. The second time I was like, no, that is not a healthy relationship.
I mean,
that is not even a healthy
dog.
BDSM relationship. That is just fucked up.
Well, I mean, I feel like the scenes that they did the BDSM stuff in, I don't think that was necessarily the bad part. It was the explaining that was the bad part. And then his whole idea of the whole stalking thing that he did behind her back the whole time was
The
kind of...
stalking thing was the creepiest
Yeah,
part.
that was the creepiest thing. It's like, wow, people that with that much money should be doing more with their time than stalking this type of girl. Like maybe saving Gotham or something.
Saving Gotham, yes.
He was a billionaire.
Could have done it.
Some people like to play Batman.
Meg, lean in just a little bit towards Joss. You gotta cuddle.
Yeah,
There you go.
cuddle.
All right.
Right,
help?
Katie?
Mine.
All right, ladies. Start you off, Katie.
Having read the book, I found the movie a much more enjoyable experience.
I will give you those shorter.
It was shorter. I was mostly amused. I'm kind of with Josh. I mean, I could have spent 2 hours in a worse fashion, but I was having a really good time laughing at stuff. So that could have been that, and I definitely didn't take it any kind of serious. And if I was with someone who was taking it seriously, I don't think it would have been nearly as fun. So that's how I feel. Meg.
Yeah, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, aside from the fact that I genuinely hate the series, I'm gonna take a serious turn. Get ready. Put your serious pants on.
Welcome to your world.
Buckle up, bitches!
Yeah,
Welcome to my world.
I would buckle up, except I'm stuck.
That's okay.
It's buckled.
This
Something.
guy is a walking poster child for an abusive man. He's manipulative, he's coercive. He follows her to Savannah when she won't acquiesce to his request to stay. And it sets a dangerous precedent for understanding that sort of relationship, or any relationship really, because it's am I not leaned enough?
I'm trying to put
Sorry.
you in the
Hello. And it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is dangerous, especially for younger readers. And I'm not about what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm not about
That bass.
no, I'm not about, saying no, don't read this, or forcible removal of literature. But
Come with a disclaimer, maybe?
This book contains an overall psychopath stalking and abusing a young woman who, doesn't really know any better.
This is exactly the kind of piece that teenage boys will get a hold of because it's full of tits and watch and idolize.
I hope not.
Nah, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think that they would really. Well,
I just hope it doesn't give people the impression that that's what BDSM relationships
That's
are
what I
supposed to
was
be.
gonna
and
say.
I will say that fortunately this movie has come out in a time in which the internet is our friend, and at least as far as that I've noticed is that there has been such a backlash, at least especially on like social media, about what this movie does wrong and like trying to point people in to places to go and find out correct information. And so, I mean, yes, while it is a bad example of all those things, I'm not, dismissing that it isn't a terrible movie. It has brought to light some of these things. So it's given a way for a lot of people to be like, okay, so this is a bad relationship that you've seen in this thing that's really, really popular, and this is what it would look like if it were a better relationship. Or, okay, don't let this be your entrance into this whole idea, this whole world, because it's not a good one. Here, go read this instead. It'll give you a better idea of what they're going for here. And so, I mean, there is that going for it. I don't think that that's to the movie's credit. I think that's more to the community's credit.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think that it's going to have enough power to really bring a whole lot of harm to more so than anything else, if that makes sense. Because I think that there's been enough backlash against it.
It's kind of like we were talking about book club earlier. I mean, you can find a lot of these same characteristics in Harlequin novels.
Right.
They don't have that kind of popularity, of course, but I mean, it's been around for a while. These kind of abusive situations glamorized.
Yeah, and I think it's a trope that comes up a lot of times in these sorts of this genre in the erotic, or like in the, what would you call it?
Cheesy romance novel?
Well, I mean, there's cheesy romance and then there's erotica. I mean, they're kind of blurring the line between the two these days. But,
So yeah, and like what's known in the business is mommy porn. The shirtless guys section of the covers.
Menopausal masturbatory aids.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you,
Brilliant.
alliteration.
Anyway, so I think that this has been something that has been popular in that genre for a while. It's just that this is the first time that it's come to light. So all of that is going to be out there, and we just happen to get a really bad example that got popular.
We're making a movie, Beautiful Bastard. I don't know if you guys read that one.
Yeah,
I haven't yet.
I read that one.
But
Better.
anyway, so I guess my final thoughts were it was boring. I think that was my biggest complaint, was that it was just so wooden and so boring, and even the sexy scenes were not that sexy. I was sitting there thinking the entire time, I was like, if you took all of the dialogue out and cropped it down to like 30 minutes, could you actually make like a sexy short film out of this? And I think with enough editing and try hard, you probably could.
I'm sure the internet will.
But that's about all it's got, a little bit of, just take out all the dialogue. The other thing that just bugged me, and it was a big thing in the book too, was just going over the contract like again and again and again. I'm serious when I say that the only people that can get off on that are lawyers.
Lawyer porn!
It is lawyer porn. It's like, oh my god, the articles, man, the articles. And
This is why this book was so popular in airports.
because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But I think for the material that it started with, that they did okay with it. I think that you can tell that the actors were like, why am I doing this, a little bit? But it worked for what it was-ish. I don't know. So, I mean, I wouldn't condone it as a great piece of art by any stretch of the imagination, and no, I probably will never watch it again because it was god-awful boring. But
There are more sexual positions than missionary, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
no,
Oh, they
there's
did a doggy.
They did doggy.
At one point.
Oh, and she
Whoa.
was suspended at one
Hanging,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was she suspended?
Yeah.
Oh,
for a
well, she's
second.
partially suspended. She wasn't.
He picked
Sorry,
her up.
I was gonna say suspension
was
was
a
one of those
little
things that she nixed.
Wait for the Lego version to come out, is what we're saying.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because it's a lot more funny. But this one was funny too. I mean, if you go in expecting it to be funny,
Yeah.
then it is funny.
If you want to make a
And
drinking game out
like
of it.
I've said,
And the good thing is, even the other people in the theater were laughing, so
Yeah.
it wasn't just our group of depraved
Right.
yeah,
citizens here.
I initially,
Oh, the
No,
light
the
on
light.
again.
There be lights.
I initially felt
Sorry,
kind of
that- I
bad
did
for
that joke
us,
the
like
first time.
being kind of loud and laughing, and then when I started to hear the people behind us, I was like, okay, no, we're all here. It's
Yes,
good to know.
like-
Good to know.
like our 30s somethings girls' night that came in after us was cackling like a bunch of hyenas in the back row, so
Yeah.
we didn't feel so bad. Fortunately, there weren't very many people there.
Yeah. If there were more people there, we probably would be like, oh my god, I just gotta laugh so hard, but I can't.
I was
the
making.
first time
I
I,
would
saw
not
that
have
it
cared.
was the first time I watched it. Yes, I'm now gonna admit it. The first time I watched it, the theater was packed and people were still laughing.
That's
So
good.
Thank you, America.
Yes. And thank you, America.
In that moment when the credits roll and you hear the voices from the back. Wait, what?
that was.
And then
that's
you
how
hear
it
the
ended?
voices
That's-
from the front. Thank God.
Then you turn around and go, read the goddamn book! You're gonna get more out of it.
No, you won't.
No,
Don't read the
don't.
book.
Turn
You
around.
will.
Plots after the credits.
Honestly, if you just really want to dive into this and see what it's about, watch the movie. Don't read the book. It takes less of your time to watch the movie unless you just can really speed read. But
It's actually a pretty quick read, though.
yeah, but oh my gosh.
Well, there's a lot of
I-
gloss.
It's
There's-
written like fan fiction.
it's like
written
a-
like bad
I
fan
had to
fiction.
stop.
Isn't it fan fiction?
It
It is.
It is initially,
It's
yeah.
Based on
Yeah.
Twilight.
Full disclosure, it's a Twilight fan fiction.
I mean, if you don't know this by
Twilight.
now.
Was
If you don't know.
Yes.
finally a worse love story than Twilight.
It is a worse love story than Twilight. Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right, the
Queen
world is
Generator.
officially ending. Good game, everybody.
Okay, we can all go home.
So, yeah. Sum it up in 5 words or less.
Fuck this fucking movie. Fuck.
I only
Lots?
need 4.
What's your 4?
Welcome to my world.
That's awesome.
Lots better than The Room.
Lots better than the room.
That's you're pushing it just a wee bit there.
Best
Right?
answer?
It gave me 5.
Josh.
In 3 words, what the fuck?
You don't even need words. You just need text speak.
Yeah.
WTF.
WTF?
WTF, mate.
What's a f-
Do you need anything else? Do we need?
Emery.
No.
Did Emery give
Let's see.
words?
No, I didn't. I was trying to come up with them. You know how long it takes me to come up with
A haiku.
a haiku. Yes. So
Yes, we
Do we
know
need
how
a
to
post-it
do
note?
haiku.
no.
She's loaded.
I'm
She's gonna
thinking
cheat
5 words or less. Okay, how can I sum up this movie in 5
A little
words?
bit more, 5 words, that's
I
fine.
would say not my favorite foreplay.
Okay. You don't like being smacked in the vagina with
Okay.
I said you don't.
Yes.
Did you give
Aren't
words?
you gonna?
I don't give words.
You're gonna
Do you
cut
give
it
fucks?
anyway. You're gonna cut it anyway.
I don't give fucks or words. No, I'm actually just going to put all the whole thing on.